I'm Bryan, Duncan. Kate and I have been married for 38 years, 39 next summer. We have 2 daughters, Louise and Susanna, both married, both with kids. We have 5 grandchildren. Well, I was brought up in a Christian home, but I wasn't always a Christian. And when I was 11 years old, I went to a summer camp, a Christian summer camp, a sports camp. I was nuts about sport, so off I went to the summer camp. And I realized in the evening talks that actually it was like every talk was directed at me personally and nobody else in the room. And I would have been aware that I was a sinner, for sure. At that age, I can remember that quite clearly. And the whole thing, the whole week was about being under new management. If you think about all the shop fronts you've ever seen that have that sign on it, under new management. And whilst maybe the theology of that isn't perfect, it absolutely arrested me because I thought, actually, I absolutely need to be under new management. I need to have, Jesus in my life, and I need to confess my sins, and I need to do something about this. So I did, and gave my life to Jesus, age 11. I wouldn't say in any way that the next period of life was easy. School life, I was probably attracted to too much of the world rather than being a solid Christian. But when I got to 18, 19, I can now look back with the wisdom of years and see the impact of other people in my life, and me taking the gospel and living as a Christian very seriously from the age of 19 onwards. As I've got older, I would say that, yes, my focus and my thoughts about all Christmas time and living the Christian life have changed and developed. I think that has been a good thing. Part of the joy of the Christmas story, for me at least, is knowing that God was in control of the big picture. He organized things that, there was a political census. And all that geopolitical stuff that's going on then that we read about in Scripture, but actually all that geopolitical stuff now that we actually see, on our phones, on our TV screens, however you get the news. And actually that's a great comfort to me, because right now we live in tricky times, with what's going on here in the UK, what's going on in the US. And yet God in his goodness organized things 2,000 years ago perfectly. And I take great encouragement that he's still organizing things, even though I might not get it or see it. But I trust that he's organizing these things so perfectly, and all to the glory of his Son.